First of all, I don't consider myself a profumiere. You know? It's not that I come from a traditional Western perfume school, or my interest was in the smell of plants. I started with this curiosity of being interested in what happens in our minds when we smell something. And then there was this Nobel Prize paper that describes very well. It was the Medicine Nobel Award of 2004. It wasn't connected with the cosmetic aspect of perfume, but with the fascination of when we interact with a scent. That could be a perfume, it could be the smell of a bisteca, it could be anything. Then it was a connecting the dot situations where I start also learning about how to extract scents of things. The mission of our brand is to provide the power of these plants, of these scented molecules, to provide them to people, no? In order to improve their lives, in order to open something in the brain that make them feel good, or create a feeling of any kind of feeling that is positive for you, for yourself. No? La Patagonia, it's more, besides inspiration, it's more my essence, is the land where I grow, like the terroir of any person. So it's what I learn, what my cultural reference with plants, and my interest goes into the plants. So, as soon as I start developing my collection of plants, this was also aligned with expanding the territories where these plants grow. No? So it's not boundaries of countries, but boundaries of weather and how the weather moves, and how different varieties, as plants that maybe are originating in New Caledonia, they are then found in Argentina, or vice versa, how alien plants are modifying the ecosystem, and fermentation. It's beyond Patagonia. No? It's more about plants and of course biotechnology as well, extractions technologies. So I don't think that there's a limit or a boundary. It was just a starting point. No? But of course I always come back to it, no? In a recurrent way. The starting point of a scent, of a perfume, is can be very random. Sometimes it's a precise idea of something that I want to represent, something that got my interest or my attention. It can be a place, a music piece, an object, a character, and in an equal weight, a plant that inspired to have a scent being created. You know? So sometimes there are certain plants that I want to just create something around that plant. You know? In the distillation aspect, we use a lot fermentation. Our main technology is supercritical fluid carbon. So we have a lot of versatility. A big part of the perfume can born from the process of co-distilling, which is, I believe, one of the first distillation approaches in history, which is the attar concept. No? So you create a complexity there that it's already a key element in the perfume. But when I want to reproduce the scent of a place or of a story, it's go and hunt for those building blocks, and most of the time distill them or look for those molecules that they are key in that. Now we're working with El Museo del Violino, for example, in recreate the scent of a Stradivarius and Guarnieri. What I always look is the genuine aspect on the building blocks that needs to be represented in that story. The thing with Oud Chaco is that it could also be Oud Andes or Oud Patagonia, but the collection of ouds of the world and these ouds that we create them by fermenting native Argentinian or South American ouds, not only Argentinian. And this is from the sense of accomplishment in the technical aspect. I'm very happy with it because it's been these observation studies on how different enzymes and fungus and bacteria affects or interacts with a plant and how this plant reacts to this relationship, and which traditionally the wood is the production of this resin. And at the same time it goes in this carrier of Muscara ferruginea, which is another our mass that is kind of, I'm also very happy with it, because the idea of this scent was to have a product that binds with our own fatty acid of our skins and kind of change our flashpoint of our own scent and help to volatilize it, you know, and to carrier to you. So Muscara ferruginea is a scent enhancer of our own skin. So from the first perfume that was Misiones or Biblioteca de Babel, I believe, that was a very rough mixture of essential oils, but still is request or demand by people. To this latest one, there's been a lot of learning and thanks to technology and to suppliers in different parts of plants and places, that we can now have this. For me, scent or perfume, it's a curative thing. No? It's what I look in these plants. It's a mood modifier, something that is the same thing that needs to work on me in order also to offer it to someone else.